Do you all remember at the beginning of the pandemic starting a sourdough starter? I know some people's have like not made it. Mine didn't, so I restarted another one. This isn't a mukbang either. I'm so sorry for eating, but this morning I made a sourdough discard banana bread. It's so good. If you still have your starter, the recipe's linked below. Treat yourself this weekend or during the week. Just make something tasty. I added chocolate chips because that's how I roll. Anyway, let's get into it. Take 36. What's good, peacemakers? Welcome back to another episode of the Piece4PeaceCrafting podcast. I'm Michael, and this is my yarny corner of the YouTube universe. If you would like to follow me on other social media, you can check me out on Instagram as Piece4PeaceCrafting or over on Ravelry as Piece4PeaceCraft. There's also a group for the podcast over in Ravelry. If you just search Piece4PeaceCrafting podcast, it should come up. And if you like music, you can check out the collaborative Spotify playlist over on Spotify, which is Piece4PeaceCrafting podcast playlist. I think that's it. If this is your first time checking out one of my videos, welcome. And if you are returning, you already know the drill. Welcome back to the Hot Mess Express. Hope everyone's doing well. It's been 2 weeks since the last time I recorded an episode. It's been kind of the same old around here. We're having fake spring here in Chicago, and by that I mean it was 2 days where it was not in the teens and we were in like the low 40s, and people around here don't know how to act. So yeah, that was nice. Just like it warming up a little bit. It gave me it's like, oh, I can't wait for this time of year too. I love the spring. Other than that, not much is going on. So let's get into it. First up, if you are participating in the Love Note Peace Cal, you have until Monday, the 14th of February, Singles Appreciation Day, to put your FO over in Ravelry, and I'll close it at the end of the day, draw a couple prizes from there, and yeah, that should be fun. I love the ones that I've seen pop up so far. They've been really great, and for those of you that wanted to make a love note in 2 weeks, it's been really awesome watching you all. For those of you who are not participating but you wanted to participate in a later one, coming up in March, it'll probably go March and April. So it'll last 2 months, but it'll start in my birthday month. I'm gonna do a sweater along. There'll be more details about it in the next episode, mostly because I need to figure out what I'm gonna make. I do know that I have yarn that I originally bought in 2020 maybe for one sweater, and like a week or two ago I decided that's probably not going to be what it's for, and I'm going to try and do something else with it. So I will show that off the next time and give you more details for that make along that's coming up in a couple weeks. I'm very excited to start that project, and hopefully I can get some of the things that I'm showing you now off my needle. So I'm starting not necessarily with a clean slate, but with hopefully a couple not a couple, just a set of needles, excuse me, that are currently being used for something else. I need to get them cleared off so that I can use them. All right. I think that's it. So let's get into some fun stuff. All right, I think I'm gonna start with my spinning. That sort of seems to be the vibe of how I do things around here. So just real quick, I didn't finish anything, but I did start something. Maybe I did. I can't remember if I showed you all my day 3. I think I did last time. Anyway, from the advent calendar of wool themes that I started spinning. So I started day 5, which here's half of this is spun up already, but here's sort of what day 5 looks like. It's got some browns and some whites in there, a little bit of yellow. This bobbin almost rolled off my leg. And so I spun up half of it, and yeah, the browns aren't as brown as I thought they were gonna be once they were spun up. And then some of the areas with the white have like they look almost marled, which that's really cool. So this has been really fun. Like I said before, I'm spinning my odd days with a light gray. So I'm doing a 3-ply, and with all of them, I'm just splitting the ounce in half and spinning them both from the same end until I'm done spinning up that advent. It's gonna be a long project. I'm not really in a rush to get it done, but it is fun just working on it, spinning something, knowing that like, soon enough, like this will be the pattern that I have in mind for it. But until then, I'm just gonna keep spending my mornings, sometimes in the evening, spinning away. So this is my day 5. Hopefully this little bit that I have left, I'll probably spin the rest of this up today. Will be done soon. Now the next thing that I'm working on, or that I'm spinning up, I took a little break. Actually, this is a scrappy angel bag that was sent to me. Love it. I put my little, I don't know if you can see it, my little pin from Les Garçons. It's Max Spinning. So this has become my spinning bag. It's great. I can put the fiber in here, close it up, sit it next to my wheel, and then everything's just right there. I'm working on spinning up this, is it Cheviot? It's from Into the World. The colorway is 221B. So here's what some of the fiber looks like. It's these grays and purples, really pretty fiber. And I spun up half of the braid. So the same thing, I took the braid, it's about 4 ounces, I split it in half, and I think this is a fractal spin. I've talked about this before, and I guess I should just look into it more, but I took one of the halves and split it lengthwise 4 times and then spun those just like one right after another. And then this other half that I haven't spun yet will just be spun straight. So there'll be really long sections. And then this one, I love all the purples in it, will be smaller sections repeating over and over. So this is really great. This is gonna be a sort of surprise. I guess since I showed it, it's not really a surprise. Sort of a surprise spin for a friend, which I will talk about more a little later. But I'm gonna spin this with something else too, so that it's a 3-ply. So in the next, this will be done and sent off by the next episode, fingers crossed. But I'll try to remember to record a little video and maybe pop it in to the next episode so that you all can see the finished product, because I think it's gonna be pretty dope. So that's all I've really been working on spinning wise. So not a lot. Because I have other things that have been taking up my time. So that's all my spinning for now. Let's get into some makes, shall we? All right, so I have 2 FOs and 1, 3 whips that are currently in rotation. There's other things that are in the timeout. So I'm not showing those. But I have 2 things that I did finish. Oh no. Where's my bag? Oh, here it is. That I did finish, and they're sort of same, but different. So, here we go. So, a while back, I talked about how there was a new yarn shop that opened up here in Chicago called Miss Pearl. And I went to the opening and bought a bunch of stuff. I think I showed my haul on here. And was like, I'm not sure what all these things are gonna be for, but I'm just gonna put them in my stash, and when something happens, I will finally make something with it. So I was watching one of the latest episodes of Tanis Fiber Arts, their podcast. Tanis, or is her husband named Chris? And Chris, let's just go with Chris. And he was wearing this hat, and I was like, oh, that hat's kind of cute. And then they started talking about it. So it's the Siege hat, that's Ceej hat. And I was like, okay, I have to go and check out this pattern, because it seemed really simple when she was talking about it. And I thought it was really cool that the pattern was written for 3 different weights. So it's like fingering held double, DK, and worsted. And I was like, oh, I have that worsted yarn that I didn't know what to do with. Let me try this hat. So I bought the pattern, tried it out. So I say all that to say, I picked up this yarn. It's Sistari yarn. So the rest of it is wound onto the ball band, so I didn't lose it. And it's the Sistari Sheep and Wool Company. They're out of Virginia, 2 up, 2 down, VA. And this is just 100% wool. So this is in their traditional, the traditional collection, and it's woodland brown. I feel like it's like an orangey brown, and it's a worsted weight. It was 170 yards for 100 grams. So the hat that I wanted to make said that it needed a little bit more, but I clearly have some left over, and I made the largest size. So this is the adult large. It's so cute. I roll it twice because that's how I like to wear it, but you could definitely give it one and have it be just a pinch slouchy in the back. It's a little bit loose for the large. I think these were done on US 7s. They were, because I had 3 projects that needed US 7s, and I was just like going back and forth with them, which is crazy. Really simple pattern. I loved the top decreases. I just thought that looked really pretty. The detail of it. It was really awesome. I finished this and blocked it and immediately started wearing it out. One of the cool things about this yarn is the way that it was sort of told to me is that it has the lanolin in it, which I had never worked with anything that still had lanolin in it. So like while you're working on it, it definitely like you feel some of that on your hands, makes them a little bit soft, greasy. It was nice. I was really into it. I will say though that I was surprised at first working it up. I was like, I don't really know about this yarn. Like it seemed a little not shoddy. What's the word I want? Like the stitches didn't look as defined as I wanted them to be. That's what it was. And I was like, oh, I thought this was supposed to be like kind of bomb. And then I blocked it, and my whole entire feelings about it changed. I was like, oh. So maybe you can see, I don't know, like the stitches just like plumped up and rounded out so nicely. And I'm in love with it. Like I want to go back to Kamaka's shop and get more of it. I don't think that personally, because it is 100% wool, like it's fine for me, like next to skin. Obviously I'm wearing it on my head. I'm not sure if I would want like a sweater out of it, but a cardigan, which is like a sweater, would be really awesome in it. You know what I mean? You could wear long sleeves, you could wear a t-shirt, you could just like throw it on, take it off whenever. I feel like a sweater, pullover type thing, you would be like wearing more, you would just be wearing it more, whereas a cardigan, you could take it off. Anyway, I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna get more of this. I absolutely love it. So that was thing one. Thing two, let me find my other tag. Please tell me it's in here. And it's not, because I'm a mess. So I made a second one. What? In a gray. So this was Brooklyn Tweed Tones. So earlier in the year, I got to hang out with Caleb from Drowning in Yarn and Jonathan from Jonathan's Days, because Jonathan was in the States, in Chicago, and the three of us hung out for a couple hours. We had a great time, just like my peeps. Loved it so much. And Caleb brought yarn for us because why not? So one of the things the thing that he brought for me was this Brooklyn Tweed Tones yarn. I don't remember the color. I'm gonna call it gray because it's not in the bag that I thought it was in. I've never worked with Brooklyn Tweed before, so this was really awesome to get to try it. And so this one, I know just from off the top of my head, it was 50 grams maybe. Maybe it was 100. Either way, it was only 140 yards. So I decided I was going to try to do this hat again, but I would make the adult small size. So I think it comes in like toddler, child, adult small, adult large. And I was like, I want to use this yarn and make it, and which is also a worsted weight, and make the smaller size. And I'll just stop early because, you know, you have to like knit to a certain length and then start the decreases. Oh my God, I look ridiculous. Hold please. And much better. And what was I saying? Oh, so I decided I would stop a little bit early and then just do the decreases so that I could use the yarn that I had. So taking that 140 and making it work. And I gotta say, I kind of love it. I had just a little bit left over, and this one being the small, it is a pinch tighter on my head, so it's more of like a beanie style, but again, rolled up to keep my noggin warm, and then if it gets too cold, I can roll it down to cover my ears. Absolutely loved it. I think this pattern is really cool. It's a simple pattern, but again, I can show the top of this one too. The decreases are kind of what sold me on it, because I like little details in my makes, and I thought that was a fun detail. So this is my little hat. Very excited about it. I knit these up, I don't know, it took me like 3 days. It wasn't very long. Go check out the pattern. You will love it. I will definitely be going back to get some more of that Sistari yarn, and now that I've tried Brooklyn Tweed, will definitely be checking out, purchasing more of their stuff in the future. Yeah, so that's all. I'm gonna keep this hat on actually. That's all my finished stuff for this episode. Let's get into what is currently on the needles, shall we? All right, so updates. One thing, and I won't talk about this too much because I feel like I've talked about it a lot actually. So this is my single malt by Maxim Sear. I'm using the Lion brand Fisherman's Wool in the natural brown color. Last time I showed you all, I had a little bit left to do on the sleeves, and so I tried it on, and I have long arms, so where I went to in the pattern, I was like, oh, this ain't for me. So I kept going and knit to my length, which is the great thing about making your own stuff, and did the cuffs. And so I think last time I was about here-ish. So I finished the sleeves. I do them 2 at a time. So those are done. This isn't marking my progress. This is marking, why did I put that marker there? Oh, this was the beginning of my round before I did the cuffs. And I picked, let me not hide my face. I picked back up and started, where was I? Like here, started knitting the body. I'm probably, I want to say like 4 or 5 inches away from, maybe that's not true. It might be. From doing the ribbing. So for sure this will be done soon. This has been really my like sort of TV knitting just in the evening. The nice thing about now just doing the body is I know the repeat in my like by heart now, so I can sit in the evenings and just like mindlessly go on this and not have to worry about decreasing because I'm not doing the sleeves anymore. And I have to say, doing the sleeves first is kind of the move. And I think I'm going to try to do that from now on. Which I don't know why it's like, it's not even bothersome to do them, but like doing them last for some reason, it just seems like it takes forever. Oh my gosh, and now that the sleeves are done, check out the detail. So in the raglan, right, it has this beautiful, that's better, beautiful little detail. And then that goes down, whoosh. Can you see? The sleeve, the back of the sleeve as well. We love to see it. So this is bomb. I'm hoping that this is done like within the next week or 2 because I want to wear it. Let's be honest. But I am really enjoying it. I love the color. I think the fit is going to be really bomb. I'm probably going to wet block it. I've been steam blocking a lot of my sweater. Not a lot, like I'm making a ton. But the past couple sweaters that I have made, I've steam blocked. But I think this one, because of the stitch, I am going to wet block it just so I can give myself a little bit more room in the body. Because when I tried it on, it wasn't tight. It definitely fit. I think there's probably more positive ease in here than it just being scrunched up on the needles is allowing for. So we shall see once that is done. So that's thing 1. Thing 2 is I think that sweater's on. Oh, I have the needles in it still, so I can tell you. This sweater's knit on, that one's knit on 8s. This next sweater, which I'm using, this is my Anker sweater, the boyfriend size by Petite Knit. And I'm using KnitPicks Aloft in Labyrinth. And I'm holding that with the Copra, which is the mohair cashmere. So it's 85 mohair, 15 cashmere. Come through. I didn't really realize that. I feel like I've used this Copra a lot though. So this is a DK. The pattern is a DK weight pattern, but I'm holding mohair with it because I'm obsessed right now. So these 2 colors, and here is, let me find where I am on that. So the last time I showed, I was a little bit before splitting for the sleeves. And I have split for the sleeves. And I stopped, I had it on this little cord and it's so tiny. And I need to just put it on a bigger one now that I'm gonna be, oh no, not yet. That's not true. I'm going to do the sleeves first on this one too. So this one is really cool. It has a rounded yoke, just a 1x1 rib. Sorry, I'm like giggling to myself because the color is a fire. Yeah, that, oh, I didn't say the name of the color of the other one. So this is Hemlock Heather is the, I want to say the main color, I guess. And then the mohair is the Labyrinth, but it's making just like the best green. So I split for sleeves and we'll pick those up and start doing those. And then I'll come back to do the body. I probably did about an inch of the body already. I did add short rows to the back of it. There weren't any short rows written in the pattern, so I remember Jonathan talking about this, how he used the Flax pattern by Tin Can Knits to sort of like figure out the math-ish of like how to add the short rows. And so once I was done with the yoke, I just did like a modified version of even the Flax pattern, just to add a couple inches of short rows in the back, just to give it a little bit more height after the yoke. And yeah, I'm hoping that it turned out pretty well. It's my first time kind of just like adding them to a pattern that didn't call for them. So if it's bad, then nobody will know except for me. I'm loving this because of the mohair and the merino cashmere. It is super duper soft, really, really squishy. I'm like really pumped to finish this one and wear it because, I mean, look at it. It's gonna be so good. All right, so that is thing 2 of what's on the needles. Okay, now the last thing I have to show is a friend of mine sent me, maybe a couple weeks ago, sent me a photo of just a poncho randomly. And she was like, oh my gosh, like, could you make me something like this? And it was a crocheted poncho, sort of granny square-ish with like tassels on it. And she was like, I wouldn't want the tassels though. Let me know. And I'm like, oh, well, do you just want a poncho? And she's like, yeah, it doesn't have to be that. And I was like, okay, let me look through some stuff and see if I'll send you some options. And I am very much of the idea that like, if I'm gonna make something for people, I wanna make what I wanna make. Does that make sense? So I sent her back a couple patterns and I was like, hey, what about this instead? And she was like, oh my gosh, yes, I love it. Let me know. So we talked about some of the details of it and here's what we're doing. So this was in the West Knits Best Knits number 2 in this book. And I'm doing, you can totally buy this pattern on its own. I'm doing the Askews Me Poncho. So here's a photo of it. And you can also make it a dicky too, but I'm doing the poncho. So it has a cool little detail going down the side. And she loved it. I sent her like pick out colors. This is how it's gonna be. She was like, yes, I'm into it. So I got some yarn from KnitPicks, again, also in the Copra. And let me show you the yarn that I'm using for it. She wanted a dark gray and a dark blue, which I was like, okay, that's gonna be rough on my eyes, but it's fine. It's fine. So these are my 2 colors. So it's giving you very much low contrast. This is Eclipse Heather, and this one is, oh, I just had the little thing. 1 second. It's Eclipse Heather and Meridian Heather. So Eclipse Heather, Meridian Heather. Dark blue, dark gray. And it's a brioche pattern. And here's where I am so far. I started this maybe Wednesday. It is Saturday. I'm slightly obsessed. I mean, it's brioche, so like, for those of you that do brioche and you like brioche, it's going kind of fast. So here's where I am so far. You can't really tell. So the collar is supposed to be, I don't know, like 8 or 9 inches or something. She's smaller, so I didn't think that would be a really good look on her. So I only did about 3, so it'll be like a mock turtleneck, and then it goes from there. Or just like starts building out from there. You can see in the front that fun little detail of how it is askew. And actually you can see it better here. So the outside, the main is this gray, and then on the inside, because it's brioche, you can see the dark blue color. I kind of am vibing with the low contrast of it. And I think once it's blocked, and I'm probably gonna just like open it up a little bit so you can see the other color coming through a little bit. I think it's gonna be really nice. I'm really enjoying it. There's, again, this pattern has like a 4-row repeat because it's brioche. So you're doing each row twice. And I think I've done 20 of the repeat, and I only have to go to 50. So yeah, I'm like, what is that? A little over a third of the way through. But because this yarn is the merino cashmere, it's so boss. Like, it's really soft, really squishy. I think I keep knitting on it so much because like I just like holding it. I'm like, oh, this feels amazing in my hands, and I don't want to put it down. Yeah, so I think she's gonna love this. This will be done soon because I can't put it down. I actually took it on the bus with me the other day. Because it's small enough. It's on like tiny needles too. Oh, so the Anker sweater is on a 7. Or I went up to a 7 because my gauge was a little bit tight. And then this is on a 7, and these hats were on a 7. So I was literally just unscrewing needles and putting them on other cables. I know some of you are like, just get another set. It forces me to just like work on one thing and then like, okay, I'm over this. Let me go and do something else. So I'm really excited about this project. It has been going well. I know I don't know if she's gonna love it, but I'm hoping she's going to love it. And that's that. So that's everything that I'm making for right now. I do have a couple other things to show though. So let's talk about those really quick. First thing, how do I want to do this? First thing is like proper acquisition. So, taking things out of this bag. So, Trilogy Yarns was having a trunk show here at one of the local yarn shops here in Chicago at Sister Arts Studio, I believe is the name of it. And I thought that was really cool, obviously. And so I was like, well, gotta go, one, support my local yarn shop, and 2, support dire friend Nancy and see her yarn in person. I mean, I've seen it in person when I've like received things, but not a full display of it, if that makes sense. So I went over there. I like rushed after work one day. It was the last day of the trunk show. And I was like, I have to get there. I have to see what's going on. So here are a couple things that I bought while I was there. One is, so this color is Stormy Weather. This one is her plush base. So it's merino cashmere nylon. That's 80-10-10. And this is 450 yards. It's a fingering weight. And then this is her 74 baby Suri alpaca and 26% silk. And this one has 328 yards in it. So this is stormy weather. And I picked these up because I think I want to do a pair of gloves. I don't have a pair of gloves. I know, which is crazy because like I live in a city that is like frigid. But I don't have gloves. I just put my hands in my pockets and it's fine. But I thought, ooh, you know, it'd be so awesome having a pair of merino cashmere gloves with Suri held with it. And so I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna treat myself. Why not? Oh, and now the Suri is in my mouth. So I picked that, and then just because I saw it, oh my god, that's everywhere. I picked up another plush in the whiskey colorway. I don't have it in here because I'm wearing this hat. If you remember, I had the whiskey colorway in a DK. Oh, do I have it? I don't. It's at the bottom of my little scrap box. So I picked up whiskey in the plush base, so in a fingering weight, and I think I'm gonna hold this double to get a DK to make another hat. Do I need 2 whiskey colored hats? Yes, I think I do. So this will probably become a hat as well, but I'm obsessed with this colorway, and yeah, I was like, if it's here in person, I'm just gonna buy it. So that was my little haul of Trilogy yarn. Yeah, it was so awesome to see it in person. Love, 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 love. The next thing I got, so when I got my yarn from KnitPicks for the poncho that I'm making, they were so kind and were like, hey, we want to send you some other stuff along with your package. And I was like, okay, that's cool. We love free yarn. So this is more of their high desert. It's their worsted weight. It's so good. I used it to make the Grounded Poncho by Denise Byron, and so I was really excited to get more of it. So this is 100% Shiniko wool, and this is just the bare undyed yarn. So this one is 100, is that right? Yeah, it's 100 grams, so it's 240 yards in here. So I could dye this, but I kind of want to just use it as is. It's so pretty. And then also 350 gram, what? Skeins, same yarn, the high desert. And so the 50 gram skeins are 148 yards. So this color is dusk. It's like a purpley blue. This one is stargazing? Yeah, stargazing. And this one is the birch tweed, which I am really obsessed with this one. So I have no idea what to do with these. And I actually have, I was gonna say the minis. The half skeins are 148 yards each. So these are 148, this one is 240, and I still have some of the black and like khaki color and the cream color. What were those? Quail, lava fields, and cottonwood. Whoa, that just really, I pulled those out from the Grounded Poncho that I made. So I kind of have a lot of them, but I'm not sure what I want to do with them. If you have any good, like medium, actually whatever, any good worsted weight patterns that you're like, oh, this would look awesome in those colors. Actually, I have the other ones behind me. Hold, please. So here are my leftovers from the others. Actually, it's kind of a lot. So here are the other 3. the leftovers from the poncho. Oof. And these. Let me know. This will look great as fill in the blank. Yeah, I would love to know what you all think. I've been searching a little bit, trying to figure out, not too much, but love these, love the colors. Thanks KnitPicks for sending them to me. Really appreciate it. Yeah, so these will become something beautiful. I'm not really in a rush to make them, but I'm in a rush to make them, especially this tweed. I'm like, ugh. It's so good. All right, last thing, maybe. A friend of I'm saying friend, they're internet friends, but we chat a lot, so we're friends. Friend of mine, Caleb, with a K, there's so many Calebs. Caleb, with a K, after my last episode was saying, oh, you're on such a mohair kick right now, like, I have this mohair that I'm not going to use, like, would you like it? Sent me a picture of it, and I was like, oh yeah, that'd be totally awesome. I'm sure I can find something to do with it. And then I was like, why don't we do a swap? Like, you liked some of the hand spun that I spun up a little while back. Why don't I send you some of that? I'll spin you up something else, and then go through my stash and just like put a little box together for you. Love this idea. And so his already came. I'm still working on spinning up some stuff, which you all will see later. You all, and when I opened up this box, I was like, okay, I wasn't expecting all of this. First off, sent over some stitch markers. These are from KnitPicks. I hope you can see them. They're like little jewels. They're giving me very Steven Universe vibes. If you see that show, if you have HBO Max, you can watch it on there. It's a kid's cartoon, but like all the adults I know who have watched it are like, I cried during several episodes because it was so touching. So they're little gems. I'm putting these on a project as soon as I'm done recording this. And then here's the mohair that he originally wanted to send over. So this is from Wool in the Woods. All these things are new to me. This is on their Miss mohair base. So it's 78% mohair, 13% wool. Oh, that's why. And 9% nylon. And it's 200 yards per skein. And this is in the color Tahiti Sunset. What? I don't even have the words. This orange? Yes, ma'am. So these are really cool. I think a while back I made a dotted rays where I used mohair for like the stripes of the big arches, not the short rows, and then the very end just like use the mohair with another color. And I kind of think I want to do that for this. I'm not really sure yet. It's up in the air. Love this. So this is, again, this is from Wool in the Woods. So pretty. Love, love, love. Then, I can't. This is from the Urban Hooker, and this is a DK weight, and it's 100% wool. It's 270 yards. There's no colorway on it, but it has the same vibes as, maybe I hold this with that to make a hat. I'll figure it out. There's no colorway on this, but really pretty. I'm really into the woolly wools right now. Oh my gosh. Okay, next up, this is Smitten Yarn Company. It's a sock blend. So it's 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and it's 400 yards. And yeah, kind of, none of these have colorways on them. Love this too. These little, I'm excited to open this and cake it up to see what it all looks like. These probably for sure will be socks just because the colors are so fun. So loving this as well. And then there's two more. I'm assuming, which I probably shouldn't, that the name of this yarn is Tsuki, we're gonna guess. So it's Tsuki Mountain Fibers, and this is a sock yarn. It's 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. This is 437 yards. It's a fingering weight. Beautiful. You all know how I feel about orange. Love, love, love. And with the little, what is that? Teal? Aqua? Let's go with aqua. Just obsessed with this too. And lastly, there is from Simply Sock. This is the small batch sock, and it's, does this have, oh, this has a colorway. This is called Oasis. Sorry, Oasis. That one did have one. And then this one is 440 yards. It's an 80-20. And there is no colorway on this either, but I love it. It's like, it reminds me of a Reese's cup. You know, it's like pale, excuse me, with the oranges and the browns in it. So good. So we love Happy Mail. We love a little piece mail being sent things, and the haul was great. So now I'm adding to the stash, which is really awesome. And I'm happy that I reorganized everything. So now I can just easily put things back where they belong. Or not back, I can put them where they belong. You know what I mean. Anywho, all right, I think that is it for all the yarny bits this episode. Remember, if you, if you entered the Love Notes Piece account, be sure to throw your stuff in the Ravelry group in the FO thread. I'll pull some things from there and then talk about that next episode. And also I will talk about the make-along that will be starting in March. I know there are a few make-alongs that are starting in March. Triple, double, quadruple dip. I'm into it. I'll talk more about it in the next episode. Yeah, if you've enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun YouTube stuff. And lastly, before I leave you, my music rec for this week is, so I was, how did I get this? Oh, I was buying something on Amazon, and I know maybe some of you do this as well. I was like, oh, well, if I'm gonna buy this, and I should just like add a couple more things to my cart, so it's like worth me giving Jeff money. And so I added a couple of vinyls into my cart, which I'm really happy I did, because I haven't really bought a lot of music this way in a while. Like, I've done a couple things where I've gone to the actual store, but I'm still a little like, I'll wait. So I purchased this because it was the deluxe version. So this is Chloe and Halle, and this is their, I believe this album came out in 2020 actually, and this is their album, The Ungodly Hour. Love these two sisters. They're great. I have sort of been like hip to them since they were like just on YouTube doing like covers of songs. They both play instruments. Chloe produces a lot of their music. They both write their music together. And just like sisters out here doing it. Love, love, love. This album is amazing. I gotta say that in 2020, when things were really going down, when I was going on super long walks in the summer, when this album came out, I want to say it came out in March actually. No. Yes? End of March, beginning of April that year. Someone can look it up and tell me if I'm right. I'll look it up after. I would listen to this album like on repeat on walks, and it really got me through, which we all need some of that. So the songs that I would recommend from here are Tipsy, which is giving me very much Aries energy. Ungodly Hour, which is the title track from the album, and that is a song that they did in collaboration with another sibling duo, Disclosure. They make dance music, so it's cool to see that collab happen. And what else would I recommend? I mean, I would recommend the whole album. Oh, and I would also recommend ROYL, which stands for Rest of Your Life. So Tipsy, Ungodly Hour, and ROYL are my recommendations from Chloe and Halle's 2020, we're gonna say, album, Ungodly Hour. Check it out. I'll dump those into the playlist once I'm done recording, and the playlist will be open. So if you have a couple songs that you would like to add to it, please feel free. It will be collaborative for a week, and then I will close it off for the second week before I record my next episode. Woof! Okay, so this episode is slightly longer. Had a lot of stuff to show this time. But I hope everyone is doing well, or as well as you can. Call someone if you need them. Or call someone just because you want to call someone. Say hello. Spread some love. Everything that I talked about in today's episode will be linked down below. So feel free to hit the little V, chevron, down bar, and everything will be listed there. Yeah, and I think that's it. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this episode. And until I see you in the next one, make a piece, spread some peace. Peace.